Give it to us.
What is up? Welcome into the Buddy Cop podcast.
Yep.
My name is Sean Leary. I'm going to be one of your hosts. I am a comedian and producer in Los Angeles, and I am joined by my boys, Scott Ibarra, comedian, impressionist, producer extraordinaire. Also, Tom Cocking, our third mic, comedian, producer, sound engineer. How are we feeling for Tango and Cash?
Yeah, T-Cock. How we feeling, T-Cock?
T-Cock.
Didn't know about it. Loved it.
Didn't know about T-Cock or didn't know about T-Cock.
Didn't know about Tango and Cash. Never heard of it. And yeah, I'm ready for it.
Never heard of Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell's biggest movie. Crazy. That might be
out of all the movies they've made
together.
Biggest.
It's their best.
It's their biggest together. We have Scott dressed as Ray Tango, and I am dressed as Gabe Cash. This is full transparency. Peel behind the curtain for you at home. If you're bald and you are wanting to manifest a character that has long hair, backwards hat. This is Gabe Cash. Gabe Cash. The trailer for this is so good.
No one watching will think that you're Gabriel Cash or even trying. You look like you.
This is chill guy. I'm the East Side cop.
You look more like the guy who hands you the skates at the skating ring.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. You can call me Daryl. Daryl at the. Go talk to Daryl. He only has size 12s and up.
It's always a goddamn Daryl at the skating ring.
Expose your collarbone more. That's what he does. Yeah, get it do dirty dancing shit down here.
Speaking of dirty dancing, we'll get into that.
I like that little Hugh Jackman you had going on.
For some Hugh Jackman, we are here for the 1989 somehow smash hit, somehow troubled, everything wrong with it, but everything right. Tango and Cash, the last movie ever released in theaters in the 80s.
Boom, that's a fact.
1989, December 22nd, Tango and Cash. In the trailer, it's so great. Ray Tango is Gucci with a badge.
It's all Gucci.
Gabe Cash is also a cop, but he plays by a different set of rules.
One has a nice haircut. The other one, Beats.
One guy you can't understand because he's got a mouthful of shit. The other guy's married to Goldie Hawn. It's Tango and Cash.
That's bullshit.
He talks jewelry, huh?
Hey, Sly talks great in this one.
Oh,
does he? I don't know.
You're feeling a little.
Except when they meet the guy. When they meet the guy in jail, and the guy is like, "Ha!" The guy with the huge jaw.
Yeah, jaw guy.
Jaw
what do we
guy?
call him? Jaw.
And he goes, "Wait, you know this guy?" And he goes, all right. I love you, good destroyer.
Yeah, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but when Stallone is, they're doing their perp walk through the on fire trash prison that's just full of litter and fire.
Yeah,
he sees this Conan guy with the big jaw, and goes from being terrified about prison to, hey, it's my old friend.
If you need me and my ass, be in the neighborhood.
Okay, off to a fantastic start already. We're gonna really dive into this. We'll talk about each other's favorite moments. Make sure you email the show, thebuddycoppodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube, the Buddy Cop Podcast. Subscribe. We want those comments. Hit us over there. It's Tango and Cash. It's a $35 million movie that ballooned to $55 million in 1989. That is expensive.
Yeah, that
is like. Holy budget. We'll do hot takes. We'll do Rotten Tomatoes. We'll talk about the box office. We'll get to some favorite moments. We'll do some impressions. This movie fucking rips. Yep. Let me just say, this movie rips, but it rips in moments. It rips in moments.
It's a parody. It's a buddy cop thing, and it is. I think it's a great display of both of them, but. If you're going into it thinking it's going to make sense and it's good writing, oh boy.
All right, so this is what I think. It's the best bad movie ever, or it's the worst great movie. But there's so much. Okay,
this face is killing.
We've done a few movies.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. I went into it with kind of low expectations. It's been a minute. It's 89. We had just watched Bloodsport, and it made me want to blow my bloodsporting brains out. Right? There was 6 lines of dialogue in that movie, so I'm like, okay, at least this movie will have talking.
But Bloodsport is a martial arts film that we made that we're like action movie. It falls in the category. Hands.
We're back here tonight.
This.
Yeah.
Frankly.
It's an action movie.
Frankly. Okay, so it starts so promising, in my opinion. Like good 80s, because the score when they introduce Stallone's character, the score is fantastic. It's like boom, 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 boom,
Which I honestly thought we should use that song for this. 'Cause I like that.
And he's in his convertible. He's alone in Joshua Tree because every downtown LAPD officer is working jobs in Joshua Tree.
In the J Tree.
Okay.
Well,
and they said
I wrote down in like a note. I just took a note and said, "Enter sexy Sly."
Ooh, he looks
Just
really
in the
good.
drop top.
The best he's ever looked.
80 in the drop top 88
Not that nice of a
Cadillac.
car.
What's an 88
Yeah, but
Cadillac?
it wasn't. It could have been nicer.
In 88, it was
But
the
he's
nicest.
Gucci with the badge. I thought it would have been like a Corvette.
No, Corvette's
Okay.
trash. He's not trash. He's a business guy.
True, he is a business guy.
Corvette says hookers and drugs. A Cadillac drop top says I trade during the
IRA,
day.
Roth annuities,
Yeah, that's-
401k
Yeah.
for the future.
Fuck your mutual funds. I trade. I'm risky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know obviously we don't get any backstory. It's the first scene of the movie. How is his character so wealthy? Bonds?
I just said it. He trades in stocks.
Oh, he trades in
So
stock.
he, like,
but what is he
got a-
trading?
he's
convertible
he's a
fucking-
cop. He's a cop on the side, but he invests also. So like even if he stopped being a cop, he'd still be a millionaire.
How do we
so-
know that, by the way?
Yeah, how do
What?
you know this?
How do you just make that
Because he
up?
From the
talks
dialogue?
about it when he goes into the
Because
office.
he talks about it. He talks about it.
After the first bus, when he goes into the office, his boss is like telling him about stuff, blah blah blah, and he's like, "Your broker's on the line." He's like, "Oh, buy, sell." He's like talking stuff,
Fuck.
broker talk.
This is where you
broker
are
talk.
different than me. I pay no
I'm not
attention.
gonna lie.
I didn't notice at all. It's
all up here, Tom.
It's up
Yeah.
there.
Real quick, I just want to let you know with this outfit, you look like every guy that jumped out of the trade centers that day. Like, like doesn't he look like a 2001 business guy who's like, today might be my last day?
Hey, Tony,
With the button, but it's also Ray Tango.
No.
Oh my God, coming from this guy.
No.
Bobby Bottle Service last
We don't
episode.
cut. We don't cut.
I spent just here's a little behind the curtain. I had to spend about 45 minutes on the Bloodsport episode editing out this guy's trash.
sexually assaulting a wine
Oh
bottle.
my God. Hidden C. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
No, we'll keep it in.
Okay.
No, I feel like
good was that
I
first
want to
scene?
keep it buttoned because
No, it looks
him.
good. I'm just
I
joshing.
feel like The Rock at a board meeting.
Yeah. You're just You're like Jungle Cruise before they get to the boat. You got to sell them on the boat. I got a boat. And if you follow me and trust me, I'll take you down the Nile.
Is there any way that we can get more protein in Terramont?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of people doing
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of people doing The Rock, so that's
Yeah.
pretty solid. Okay. We're in the first scene of this movie. Great.
Yeah.
Would you say great? Because you're the toughest critic of us
Of course.
in the room.
I love it. Other than the fact that the helicopter is trying to tell him we got it from here. I'm like,
But they didn't have shit.
have you seen a helicopter pull over a semi truck?
What did the helicopter have? They had no position.
They're like, we got it from here, Tango. He's like, no, you don't. I've been on this case for 36 hours.
It might be your jurisdiction, but it's my perps.
But it was beautiful, and then he pulls out
the
a
cinematography,
He
dude.
pulls out a cap gun,
A gun the size of a
barrel's
limp
that big.
child's wiener.
and it's great because he perfectly
It's
a limp
this
child's wiener.
Let's revisit when that
He
was.
literally does the, that great scene with the cinematography, and you see the trigger. It's already pulled. There's nowhere for the trigger to go, and he's like,
Yeah, back then people didn't check weapons,
it was this big of a gun.
Sorry, Brandon Lee.
was a
He's
38
stopping
caliber,
an
you know?
18-wheeler with Conan the Barbarian driving with a urethra gun from Lethal Weapon. It's the size of his ear.
Call back to urethra guns.
And then, okay, I love that scene. There's this beautiful cinematography shot of the camera panning behind his Cadillac,
Yeah.
and then him with the gun. And I go, this movie fucking rips.
I'm like, oh my! When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this. I didn't
Yeah.
even know I was so young back then, but I'm like, this guy looks like he does business, but he's
Yeah.
pulling a cop thing like a stockbroker. This is sexy.
Oh, it was so
Enter
sick.
sexy slot. I
Not
also
a cloud in the sky.
I also thought to myself, right when I saw that, I thought to myself, who needs cop cars?
Yeah.
In these movies,
he didn't even have cherries.
They don't drive cop cars.
He didn't even have cherries. Okay?
Cherries?
Like the woo.
Lingo. Got it.
Yeah, cherries.
Write that
What
down.
have you never been
Next
at
time
a
I get-
college party drinking?
next time I
the
need-
cherries are here.
No,
That's
we
Midwest.
don't
That's
say
Midwest.
that.
Yeah, we don't
Nobody
say that.
says
Where
that.
did you go to college?
Not in
USC.
South Dakota.
Oh yeah, because you wouldn't. There's no cops in USC. There's murders and things for them. No, I'm being dead serious. You go to college at USC? No, why would you bust a party? They got drug dealers in the Hollywood Hills to arrest.
Cherries.
I'm in South
Cherries.
Dakota.
You went to the
If
University
you
of
have
Dairy
a
Queen.
house party, that's the biggest crime. You get that, right?
Partying.
Underage drinking
Yeah,
is
it's
the
true.
crime. Whereas in USC, it's like, underage kids, let them party. I got to go get this triple murder up in Barrington.
In South Dakota, they're like,
this-
we're going to go bust these people. They rip the tags off their
I
mattresses.
swear to God, that's a if you
It's a
if you
legit
take the
thing.
tags off the pillows that
Yeah.
say don't do. There's somebody at your house in South Dakota.
Yeah,
Cherry, cherry, no,
someone's
just
doing
getting
time.
Cheers.
You're getting
Cherries.
cherried. You're cherried
Cherries.
up.
Okay.
I like that though. I'm going to use that when I need to talk
Cherries.
myself out of
You've
my
never
next...
heard cherries, Tony? You never heard cherries?
No.
What do you got? 5-0? Popo?
One time?
5-0 Popo. One time?
One time.
You guys say one time?
Well, it's in movies and stuff. They say one time.
I just say popo.
Wait. If the cops are coming, people say, hey, one time?
It's a hood slang. One time.
I say 5-0.
Someone's going to put it in the comments, but no one is going to say
it'll
cherries.
be Anna's brother
No one's
who
gonna say
knows
cherries.
everything.
No
Okay.
one's going to say cherries.
Everyone knows cherries, just so you know they know cherries.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Don't fact check that.
They
Don't
know
even-
cherries. Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, here's my next question about Tango and Cash. So we get Stallone, Ray Tango, we get his introduction, and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm locked in 10 minutes.
Sexy.
Elite. He shoots it, the coke comes out, right? And
Yeah.
it's clearly sugar. Like they didn't even try for close to coke. It's like
No.
the grainiest granulated sugar.
It is. It's straight white sugar.
And now the local cop, what a fucking asshole.
He takes a handful of it and he's like,
Anyone wants to get high?
yeah.
The local
Anybody wanna
cop.
get high?
Can you imagine talking to Sly Stallone as that like, you motherfucker, this is our part of town, you dumbass motherfucker.
He wanted to. He's like, I want your badge. I want your ass. I want to be inside you.
Yeah, shut your ass up, shut your butt, shut your mouth.
Pull
give me
your pants
gun.
down. I want to be inside you. Let's go.
And then he shoots the thing and he goes, Rambo's a pussy.
I know.
Shoots it and the guy goes, well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I
He
know.
got one.
that sheriff's guy with the cool glass, whatever,
Oh.
yelled at him. He's like Brian Bosworth.
For a second there, I was like, oh, Boz with a nice roll. And I'm
Boz,
like, no,
yeah.
he's playing linebacker for the Seahawks at this time.
I hate to stop this, but this
Yeah.
is brought to you by sunglasses. We spent most of our budget on sunglasses. Come check them out. Sunglasses.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
That's
I
up
love
to you
them.
if
They're
you
great.
decide if
They're a
that's a
great
real or a
sponsor.
fake sponsor.
We're also brought to you by 4-Day Suit Warehouse. Need 3 days? We got one more. You want 4 ties, 4 pairs of socks, the owner's shoes, his dog, his wife? You can have that. Need to look like Steve Harvey in 30 minutes? We got you. 4-Day Suit Warehouse.
I like it. I like it.
Where do you find us? Right next to the 3-Day Suit Warehouse. They're pussies. Okay.
Just like Rambo.
Just like Rambo.
Just like Rambo. That, you know what? I am shocked that Sylvester Stallone, the man, allowed that line.
He was
He
very
is
self-aware.
but he's an egomaniac.
No.
He took over this movie.
He's an egomaniac when it comes to the work, but when it comes
He
to
can-
like his
he can
characters,
goof. Okay, cool.
He definitely self-deprecates.
All right, and then we get the introduction for Gabe Cash. I love
Biggest gun ever.
boot gun. Also,
Laser gun.
also,
Got a laser on top of the gun.
wearing a bulletproof vest while he hangs at his house and makes ramen noodles.
No, he was just getting off the job.
But
and comes
still,
home.
he's at home. He's chilling. Usually, you take your
He
bulletproof
didn't
vest
even
off
have.
at the
He
office.
walked in. He didn't even have
No, I
time
know,
to take
that's
his
fine.
boots off. He got
But that's
shot
not
through a
even
window.
that's not even my biggest problem. When he's driving in and we see his cool car,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh, here comes the fun guy who fucks. Like Ray does annuities, Cash fucks.
So the guy with a lot of money and the totally nice car has a little wiener gun,
Hold on.
and then
Yep.
Cash has the.
The guy who lives on
hog.
the east side,
Yeah.
the east side, and the music that we get for his character coming in is the worst. It's boop boop beep boop.
Well, you know who did it? You know who did the. Who did the score was.
If
the
you
same-
say Michael Kamen, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Hans
Because
Zimmer, I
you
think.
come in here weekly pushing that Michael Kamen junk.
What do you have against Michael?
I
Caine?
don't. You say it without knowing if he even did the score for the movie that
I
we're
know
talking about.
about Michael
Well, he
Kamen
sure
and
as
all his
seldom
work.
did this one because Ray's introduction is perfect score.
It's the same score from Beverly Hills Cop. Faltermeyer.
It's like this guy's down on his luck.
Well, because he
It took me
he
out.
blew his load on the Beverly Hills Cop
Ray,
soundtrack.
it took
so
me out.
then Faltermeyer came with that one where it's and so instead of having the
What did you think of the boot gun?
bum, 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 The boot gun of Cash?
Yeah, Cash's boot gun. Thoughts?
I didn't even know it was a boot gun until I watched it again recently. I was like, is he just shooting through his foot?
Yeah, no,
it's actually the new Timberland gun.
Yeah, it's like a Timberland boot gun.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, I think.
Yeah,
is
Wait, so
on
can we
that.
describe? So when they're chasing the Asian guy off
Yeah.
of it, he lands on the car. Looks
Yeah.
good.
Was that a plant, by the way? That was the setup to get him later?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
so
a-
then so then Kurt Russell jumps off, and he's doing like a fucking ass tuck, and he lands somehow on his feet, which in all actuality, spine would have been just shattered.
Oh yeah,
And
he
just
hurt
pops
him.
up like-
He hurt himself in that
Yeah.
jump. When he jumps up, you can see it on camera. Kurt Russell's like, "Oh fuck, shit!" Like into the car, his
It's like
shoulders
they always-
separated. He
These
tore
action
his
guys,
hamstring.
I know these guys in the 80s.
Third
They're
take tore his
always
hamstring.
and I think it was like Mel Gibson too. It's like they're always wearing cowboy boots and trying to run in them.
It's like on Reacher when you try to watch him run and his
my
lats
God.
get in the way. Like if you have lats that big, your arms can't run.
I know.
So he just has to run like this. I'm Reacher. I'm coming to get you.
Oh my god.
Okay,
it.
so we get introduced to both of the characters, right? And we also get Jack Palance.
Ooh, Jack.
And
Palance.
I swear to God, he is on record. He went on Johnny Carson
Yeah,
and
said it
said
was the
this
worst
was
thing.
the worst experience he's ever had making movies. And this is a guy that worked with Jack Nicholson and Tim Burton. So
Yeah.
he said
Same
that
year.
he only really wanted to do the movies so that he could work with Stallone, and then he was never on set with him.
No.
Stallone was too busy rewriting and doing all the action set pieces that Jack Palance was just acting with mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
But I really truly believe at some point one of the producers was like, okay, Jack Palance is going to do all of the exposition for the entire film.
Ray Tango and Gabriel Cash. He waltzes in and takes my drugs and then tangos back out again. Gabriel Cash. Jack Palance always talks like he's on smelling salts.
Jack, you're my number one guy.
Never gets old. He must be one hell of a panty sniffer.
You know, oh God, his character,
Yeah.
integral for the film.
He's
but
like
it
smelling
makes-
the rats too. He's like,
It makes
these are
his plan.
delicious smelling rats.
His plan in the history of movies. I love it, but
Yeah.
it makes the least amount of sense. Rather than quote unquote start a war with the police,
Yeah.
if he were to just kill Tango and Cash, he then decides to bribe every high-ranking cop,
Yeah.
get them on his side, get these guys in jail. They then plead no contest to capital FBI murder,
Right.
which
18
gets them
months, right?
18 months.
Yeah, like they didn't even fight.
They
What
didn't
the
even
fuck?
plead.
They
They
fight.
didn't
Like,
even
no.
plead guilty, and they only got 18 months for capital FBI murder.
Well, because they knew, and I think that's the part that you maybe skipped over, is that they're showing like cops.
I watched
don't
the whole
really,
movie.
Cops really don't get busted, right? Cops don't
No.
do time.
Unless they're Derek Chauvin.
Sure.
Well, we saw it. We had to watch
exactly.
it. If we wouldn't have watched
but
it.
back then they don't. So they're saying like, even though this is horrible, they're gonna do some time. But then that's when the drug lords are talking to Jack Palance, and they're like, 18 months is nothing. They bring up that point, and he goes, "Well, that's the whole point. A lot can happen in 18
So
months."
that's what I mean. If you're just going to kill him,
They think
in
they're just
prison-
going to cop jail, but they go to the general population.
Sure, but if the plan then is to kill them in that jail, right?
Yeah.
Just kill them not in the jail.
What do you? No.
Yeah, because they would start. It
No,
would start.
because if they kill them out on the street, then you make martyrs of them.
Sure,
A cop on
but
the job.
Do
They get killed in jail, it's because they're scumbags and they
Yeah.
deserve to die.
I get that part. I totally get all that part. It's more of like a bigger long-term play where it doesn't make sense once they get to the point where they're able to escape jail. That where, you know, they have that boiler room beat down with all the other jail guys where Jack Palance shows up.
Plans what he
Is
did
that,
is
he wants to kill him in that moment, but that one guy comes in and they can't get it done.
Right.
Okay.
the main thing is he wanted to destroy their reputations
Destroy,
and then kill
first
them.
order of business, destroy reputation.
And then kill them.
Then kill
'Cause
them.
then nobody cares about
Conan in the jaw, kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Conan
But
in the jaw.
also,
kill.
by the way, so when I started that, them going to prison was not a thought in my head, and they just went right to prison. I'm like,
Yep.
fuck, this is.
Well,
gonna
you
be
know
a whole
why,
different
right?
story
Because
then.
Stallone loves prison.
Yeah, no.
He's a big fan?
Find someone that loves
Prison movies.
you like Stallone loves just prison.
Yeah.
It's not like
Every
I think
movie,
he's just into prison.
Yeah.
Lock up, escape plan.
I'm sad
This
Tony just walked
Tango
out,
and
'cause
Cash?
It was in Ohio. That prison was Ohio.
Yeah, that prison was in Ohio.
That's right. It was filmed on location.
Disgusting.
Okay, real quick.
Disgusting.
I want to get
Ohio is just no.
I want to get to your guys' favorite parts.
Yeah.
We'll do, obviously there's fun facts throughout. Like this movie was a $35 million movie that went to 55. And at that time, it was one of the biggest movies ever made. One of the
Right.
highest budget movies ever made. Just
Inflated. So much shit went on. We don't even have time to talk about it but for anybody listening or whatever, it's like if you look up like what went on in this movie, they
15
changed
minutes worth of
directors
stuff.
like
Yeah.
3 times. They brought in the writer that did the rewrites and the scripts for Lethal Weapon.
They brought in
Jeff Baum.
literally anyone with a pulse got brought in.
And they brought in the other director, the guy Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he was the first DP, got fired. Then they brought in,
Another guy.
they brought in another guy.
But they
Barry's-
brought him in so that legally they can say for the Directors Guild that they did the right thing because Stallone was
and
then
Kurt were basically
directing his.
directing it,
Yeah, it was just trash.
Okay, I want to talk about
Tango and trash.
my favorite part of the movie. We'll do our favorite parts,
Yeah.
and then we'll do some more fun facts as we go. So this might be my favorite part in the history of action stupid movies. Is when we finally get to see, like, the dust has settled on everything,
Yeah.
and we get to see our ponytail henchmen, and they're at the black market warehouse that has a PA announcer. The guns are being delivered in the back hall. If you're in the back hall, get the guns. There's bazookas, guns. We're at the black market warehouse. This is bad activity.
I know.
Oh, and then they walk back, and you're just like, okay, this is great. This is the Whole Foods for grenades.
It was pretty bad.
Oh, no, but good bad. That's
bad.
the kind of shit where you suspend all reality.
It was the kind of writing that I imagine I would have done when I was 12. I'm like, bad guys, they got a warehouse full of guns and they do bad things and they deal bad guns.
It's John
And then we
Peters.
need cops. Yeah, Jonathan Peters.
It's this. We were talking about this before the show, but the producer on this movie was notoriously kooky. This is where I'll defend him a
Bradley
little bit.
Cooper played him in what, Licorice Pizza?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I will
great.
defend this guy in the sense of I am starting to realize that movies over the years, you actually need a little bit of this movie producer energy of injecting ideas that might be behind the gun, not behind the gun, but like under the gun time wise. Like you got to have big ambition in order to make a lot of this work. Now in this movie, it might not have worked that much.
Yeah, but you don't get it. Then why have a director? Why have all these
Right,
people?
but this
They
is,
get the-
hold on, as
yeah.
somebody who is a producer, you're putting
As somebody that is a
This
producer.
Johnny Hollywood does it.
Hold on,
But
as
you know what I
someone
mean?
that's a producer.
That guy
Yeah.
getting the financing in charge, ultimately in charge, final
What you
say,
do.
final
And
cut.
then you hire the people.
Yes. No, I'm not saying I would act this way. I'm just saying this is how they
You're
get
a Jonathan
there.
Peters.
I'm a Johnny Peters.
You are.
I'm a Johnny
You're Jay
PP.
Peets. I'm Johnny
So
Peters.
he was the one that was like halfway through, or basically 3/4 through production, he's like, I want dump trucks.
Yeah.
I want monster trucks.
You would be that kind of producer.
I want guns. Right. I'd be more grounded than this guy.
You would be in the
Yeah.
director's
I need
ear
more
like
set
you'd be in the
pieces.
director's ear like I want to blow up that taco truck.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
And he goes, no, we can't. We don't have the
Explosions.
budget. Well, go down to Pacoima, pick something up.
Yeah, we don't have the budget. Fire that guy. That's
Yeah.
the director.
You
get rid of
know
him.
I would never do that. I am mad at that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but I want to defend that a little bit because this is the guy that caused the problems. He would come in, it would be a noon shoot, and at 11:55, he's like, "What if Sly is from Czechoslovakia?" You know what I mean? Like he's that guy that
Yeah.
comes in and he goes, "What if Spider-Man faces off against Superman?" And they're like, "This is Tango and Cash, John."
Tango and Cash.
Christopher Nolan banned this guy from the set of
set.
Man of Steel because of how kooky crazy he
crazy.
is. So originally, this John Peters guy who produced Tango and Cash, he's basically the white-haired Joel Silver. He was originally the guy that had the rights to the Superman reboot with Nicolas long-haired Cage. And he had two. Listen to
Superman.
this. He had two conditions for Superman. He doesn't fly.
And he fights his fucking spider.
And he's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And he fights a spider.
Yeah.
And you want to know where that spider fight ended up? The movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who got fired off of Tango and Cash. It's like Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah. Barry Sonnenfeld DP'd on Tango and Cash, which was produced by John Peters, who wanted a spider, which was in Wild West with Will Smith, who was in 7 Pounds with Kevin Bacon.
We should wake up our listeners now because I think we lost half our audience talking about the producers. We're like,
is the show.
Yeah.
All right, back to it. Okay.
So,
okay. My favorite part was the black market Costco announcements.
You love that.
What was your favorite part of Tango and Cash?
I can tell you one of my favorite things is right when he does that bust in the beginning and the cocaine comes out of the truck. And I just thought right at that moment, Jack Palance and the other bosses drive by.
Yes.
They're right there. And I just thought to myself, I was like, mob boss power lunch. Just his hand in the window. He's like, he shot my cocaine truck. And then you shoot to the guys inside. It's the most stereotypical, like, he's like a Russian Italian guy.
So
and then the Asian mob boss, and he's like smoking a cigarette like he's never smoked.
Hey, real quick, do we get to see those guys die? Do we see Quan die?
Ooh, good.
I feel like we don't get to see those guys die.
Quan
at the
dies
end.
with like a grenade.
Him, right?
Oh, well, long-haired gets grenade to the junk. He gets urethra bomb.
Yeah, I don't know about John.
All right. Okay, what's your favorite part? When they pull up in the limo?
Oh man, I don't know.
I really like when they kill
I think the electrical slide down.
I was just gonna say that was really cool.
Which is great when Kurt Russell's like, "Damn it, what took you so long? You stopped for coffee in a Danish?" And he goes, "I hate Danish." That was a direct stab at his ex-wife Brigitte Nielsen.
Really?
Because she's Danish,
he
just divorced her.
Oh, that's
they threw that in.
She found Flavor Flav. She found love.
Huh?
She found Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
they're still together.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
She was on she was on that show though.
Man, you guys are throwing some fun facts. I don't
Nothing
even know if they're
grosser
real.
than thinking of Flavor Flav go up on her.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Can I just say how much I love the '80s for throwing Ron Howard's brother a role every once in a while?
That was my favorite part.
It's like, can
my favorite
I
part.
just
It's
ask a question?
Ron Howard's brother.
Let me ask a question to society. Was Ron Howard that fucking good that they needed to put his lizard brother in everything?
No, Clint looks like an alien, not a lizard. Come on.
Okay, but you get what I'm saying, where it's like, oh, we got to throw a little Ronnie Howard.
He's a
been
great
famous
actor.
forever.
Yeah,
no,
he's a child actor.
But it's one of those where it's like, hey, Ron Howard's brother's going to be on set. Can we get him in his slinky? Can we have him slink around? You get what I'm saying? Like, he's in everything as like the 19th lead when you just need somebody to be gross.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
He did it well. That was my favorite part, though. The slinky.
What was your favorite part?
The slinky.
Seriously?
I had no clue.
You're like, what's going to go on here?
You know what happened, and it ended so fast where I was like, what the fuck was that about? Like, so he just slinked up, and then I
killed that guy.
As my slinky.
He was my best friend.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was a pointless.
I love Stallone in this too. It's the first time you hear him like talking like straight.
I was just going to say, like, what? Because
we're going to slide down this thing. And we're going to grab this belt. You don't know how electricity works. As long as what does he say? As long as you're not touching the other wire, you're not touching the ground, you're electrocuted. And I was like, I don't know. And then they clear it up and he's like, are you sure? He's like, I think so. He goes, that's your plan.
What?
Yeah. We're going to fry.
What did you think of the dialogue in this movie?
I thought it was great one-liners, really funny back and forth. But yes, the screenplay was put together by a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you think that's in a bad way, or I'm burping.
Yeah, clearly.
Burping. Got it. What at that post?
Hey, what do you think of the dialogue?
I thought it was like all the action movie buddy cop tropes. Like I said, who needs cop cars? Sylvester Stallone drives the drop top Cadillac with the no cherries, and freaking Cash, who's in a broke apartment.
What is that, a Porsche?
It was a Stingray. It's
like
that thing was
Corvette. It was cooler than Stallone's.
That's an $80,000 car.
Yeah, and he's just an East Side cop over on the East. I think it's so funny
in the Rampart district where everyone wears. It should have been flipped. Cowboy boots.
It should have been flipped. Cash should have been the West Side. Doesn't dress up. It's Venice Beach. Stallone downtown finance. It should have been East Side Stallone, West Side Cash.
Yeah. But
he's never once agreed with me. Like,
but look how good he looks.
Yeah, he does look good.
Like, I mean, fuck. Like,
I'm wearing the fucking tie.
You look like you're selling rockets. Like
selling actual rockets.
Yeah, like actual rockets.
Yeah, like you built them and sold them.
That are on the back of monster trucks and like a construction yard, and that's the final boss.
You look like you run a bowling league for a tech company.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're calling it Bitcoins and Bowls.
Bitcoins and bowls.
Bobby Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay, so your favorite
You look like the stepson of an oligarch, and all you drink is Red Bull.
Oh, hell yeah. Slam it.
There it is.
Here's my heart.
An oligarch.
We are presented by Blowing Your Heart Up with energy drinks. It's 2025. You want to explode your heart? Have an energy drink.
Tom, you're like a strip club DJ who's way too nice and defends all the women.
Oh, that's a
Fucking
good call.
man, they're nice.
That's a good call.
They're
Coming
paying
to the
their fucking
stage now
rent.
is Jessica. I don't like to call her Diamond. Jessica has a master's degree.
She's good.
Yeah. She can cook a mean bratwurst.
Mufasa, relax.
We have an adorable
Okay,
dog.
can we talk? Is your favorite part really the part with...
It's not the. It's the part that's stuck with me
Slinky.
the most.
Okay.
I did not understand.
What's like your actual part that you were like, oh, this is sick. I like this. This is sick.
I did. I think the electrical sliding down that was cool.
Yeah.
I think them getting out of the entire I think the entire them
Prison
actually
escape?
escaping was wow. Also, I don't understand why they
How
they dropped everyone
yeah.
to beat them up. I don't get that. He had a baseball bat. Where the fuck did that come from? I
Right.
have questions, but I
Right.
like that. That
Can you
scene
imagine?
was fun.
Can you imagine? Because Patrick Swayze was up for the role.
Yeah,
originally.
I don't see it. I
Yeah.
don't see it.
I think they would have been kind
It
of.
would have been dark. It would have been
even.
too dark. Yeah, like
I
Swayze's
like
tortured.
Kurt Russell because he taps into that.
No,
kind
it was a better move.
he taps into that kind of John Wayne thing. He's like,
I
God, this whole thing fucking sucks.
I think it's the
How are we supposed to go to jail? God damn it. We didn't do it, okay? God damn, this thing is terrible. And then
my
Stallone.
gun has a laser.
Yeah.
In
With the lasers
1989.
Bigger than the gun.
Yeah,
which
that was awesome. He had
Yeah.
a cool gun and a cool jacket.
Is that your plan?
I got him on the drop.
We're gonna fry.
We're gonna fry.
Don't tell me God! I totally remember you from going down to barbarian. That was a direct hit at that was a direct insult to
Schwarzenegger. Yeah,
too.
because Arnold turned this movie down.
He broke my jaw.
This was the original plan, was to do Stallone.
That
the
would've
two
been
big-
it.
Stallone and Swayze.
Stallone and Schwarzenegger was the original plan.
Yeah, but Schwarzenegger was like,
I can't work with
Wait, so
Sly.
it was
and then Swayze. Yep.
Swayze.
No, I'm saying so it was Schwarzenegger and Stallone
it was
were going to be
yep,
Tango and Cash.
Yep, it was Tango and
Them
Cash.
both
Yep.
together? Fuck,
Schwarzenegger
that'd
was
been
going to be
wild.
Cash. Schwarzenegger was going to be Cash.
Yeah.
And I think I think Russell's the perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah.
The long because Arnold looks too much like Sly. He's
Well, they're
tall
both
and
clean, jacked dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get like the everyman, but also jacked, like a sexy everyman. The whole time I watched this movie, I was like, fucking Kurt Russell.
Sucks.
Like not that I was uninitiated, but like this was like, damn, no wonder he was like a thing. Not that he's not still, but like
God,
that
fucking-
performance.
that hair.
Hair's wild.
His performance in that movie, both of them do great performances. It just is killed by the whole
Hair
final
is
35
so sexy
minutes.
in this movie, so done up. He looks like Miley Cyrus at the Grammys.
Okay, brown sugar in your ass. When he
Oh
said
my
he was going to
God.
put brown sugar in your ass.
Yeah, he goes.
What did you immediately- I go-
Tango! I'm gonna put brown sugar in your ass.
I'm like, you've been sitting on that. You've been in prison sitting on that one for when he gets back.
there's two things you get in prison. You either get the tossed salad man, or you get the brown sugar in your ass guy.
I'm checking the brown sugar just to see. Yep.
Brown sugar in your
What's
ass.
it mean in slang? Okay, let's see. Oh, what's that? It's
gotta be
it's
grainy.
stuff in your butt with heroin.
Can you?
So he was gonna stuff his butt with
So I'm
heroin.
gonna put
Ooh,
heroin
that's
in your
lingo.
butt.
Wait, so he was just gonna give him drugs?
No,
that's
he's
not
gonna
even
shove
a punishment.
No, because you put him up his ass. So you
yeah,
don't
you
even get
smuggle
to.
it out of there.
No, you don't get to enjoy it.
Well, you can poop it out and then snort it.
You're overthinking it.
I thought I was thinking perfectly on it.
You know what I love is when Cash walks into his apartment, and do you remember what he's carrying in?
Does he have like groceries?
Yeah, he has beer and tortillas.
Oh, nice.
Classic.
That
Chef's
is the
kiss.
most East Side LA sad guy
they're
meal.
like, this guy's a cop. He drives a Stingray, but he can only afford tortillas
Hey,
and beer.
yeah, his car's $80,000. He lives in an Echo Park upstairs of a CVS, and he's drinking Dos Equis and slamming chips with no salsa.
Who else could have been in this movie besides? Because you know it had to be Stallone, but who could have been?
If you take out Stallone,
Could have been Pacino.
no, God no, he's too old.
We got set up by a guy sniffing rats.
He's all around.
Trying to think
And
who else
then,
could
or
be
if
good.
De Niro's in there, he's just the whole time he doesn't try to hit on Ray Tango's sister. He just goes, clean up, go home.
Oh my
clean
God,
up, go
Teri
home.
Hatcher.
Clean up, go home.
Don't get me started.
Don't no. I'm not gonna lie.
She used to be, fun fact, Teri Hatcher, if you're out there, she used to be a 49ers cheerleader. Shout out to
Really?
Gold Rush. Audrey, I
Shout
see
out
you.
to Petaluma, California. When you grow up there, you know who the San Francisco 49er cheerleaders are.
Boom. And I'm not sorry about it either. Look it up.
Okay, real quick, I
Terry,
just want to
you're
throw
wrong.
something out.
That's
John Peters, the guy who produced this and was a nightmare to work with.
Yeah.
It was his idea and his idea
Barbara Streisand's
alone.
fuck toy. Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck
He
toy.
basically
Fuck
made
boy.
Barbara
Fuck
Stor-
boy. Fuck
Streisand's
boy.
career as her manager and producer.
Yeah.
It was his idea to have Kurt Russell dress up as a woman. And he also produced Wild Wild West, and that entire movie is Will Smith and Kevin Kline dressing up as women. So this dude clearly has a thing, and to me, that is right when the movie stopped being good.
Yeah.
Not that I thought it was objectively good, but that movie, I was watching it going, this is a fucking blast. This movie rips, and they get to the Diamond Club, and then it stops
Teri
being
Hatcher.
good.
Teri Hatcher in like a strip club.
It's
club
a strip
playing
club where
drums.
they
Dancing?
do not strip and they play electro-techno drums.
Yeah, but they did. You know, it's a Jonathan Peters film when they have to do the backstage and you see boobs. You
Oh
see-
yeah,
Yeah.
gratuitous,
I did-
but not Terry. Everyone but
No.
Terry. Hey, what size are you?
And those are the only boobs I wanted to see was Terry Hatcher's.
That's all I want to fucking
Stupid.
see.
I don't
was
wanna see the
Terry's
other
titties.
ones.
Okay,
Teri Hatcher plays the drums, and I want to see her body.
where did you land on that being kind of a it goes off the rails plot wise? Do you feel that?
Right when they got out of prison, they started the third act where they're going after the drug guys. It was terrible.
I thought they should have killed all of those guys.
Did you bump uglies
Here's
with
what,
my sister?
Here's what else. Yeah, that.
Did you?
I wrote
Did you
down.
have sex with my sister? You're right there.
Ooh.
Oh my God! You had sex with my
Wait,
sister.
so we discussed this. Why did they part? Like, why
Exactly.
did they part?
That part made no
they got
sense.
out of
They
prison.
both land in the marsh, right?
Yeah.
And they go, all right, we'll meet back up. Go together.
No, they both had to take care of things.
What were they taking care of?
He had
Feeding
to-
the same guys that
They're
set them up?
fugitives.
He had to go because they agreed that they were going to split up and go after separate people.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
So
they're running
you
out of
go
time.
get the
Scott's
sound
at.
guy.
Right.
I'll go get the police chief. Like
Right.
the police chief. Everyone from this is
FBI
in
guy.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the exact same casting director
Yeah.
as Seinfeld. Everyone in this movie that has a bit part has a huge guest star part in Seinfeld. All of them.
It's because
all of them.
It's because Jerry Seinfeld was the executive producer.
No, he was not. No, he was not. That is not true.
Well,
That is
Scott's
not.
full of
We are
shit.
presented by Scott's Lies. Scott's Lies. You want to hear a white man in America say something so confident and be wrong? Check out Scott's Lies.
It's a dick move, but I look good while I'm
see,
doing it.
yeah, yeah,
But I
you
look good while I'm
absolutely
doing
does
it.
look
Okay, so
fucking
third
good.
Scott's
act.
Lies
Annoying.
Third act.
sounds like a Schwarzenegger flop.
I would have liked it more in the movie if Stallone and Russell, when they're going after the guys that put him away, kill those fuckers. It's already R-rated.
Well, they said they were going to do it when you hear
No,
the
he just
trial.
he shoots all of
and
his
he's like-
equipment. As a
he's like-
creator, I felt bad for the equipment.
He's like, remind me to pay a visit to Pipsqueak here when we get out. And he goes, I'll bring the chainsaw. And he goes, I'll bring the beer. Like they were gonna. I thought they were gonna kill those guys.
They should have killed those guys. Okay, we skipped over this, but
Yeah.
my biggest question with this movie, going to the gratuitous butt in the shower scene where we see both of them walking, they're like, we got to get your asses.
Oh my God.
Every woman in America named Deb or Pam is dying to see Kurt
Deb
Russell's
or
ass.
Pam.
Flicking
And
bean
then,
about
and,
that.
and then
Oh, yeah.
can you help me with
Flicking
this?
bean.
Can you help me? They're in the shower and they both make jokes. Do they both have tiny penises? Because Kurt Russell's like, Pee-wee, oh, short stack, hey, Pee-wee, hey, tiny boy. I think they both have small dicks. Is that the mission statement from John Peters? He's like, nobody's got a dick like me. Not even the two biggest stars in Hollywood.
It's always John Peters. I think it was the shower scene and
Peters.
Kurt Russell dressing up as a woman. John Peter likes to play
But
with dudes.
Sly wrote all those lines. There's all those lines where he's like, "It's just what you gonna do to get out of here?"
I can't imagine Sly not having a hog.
Well, that's the thing. He's shorter than you think.
No, I know he's small, but he's like straight up Italian, just like
Do Italians have big dunks?
I don't know, but they like to hang
I don't-
salami from everything.
All right, let's. Will you look up how tall is Sly Stallone?
Can you look up the
How
size
big
of
is
Stallone's?
Sly's
I honestly
penis?
think they both
I think
both
I'm gonna
might
say
have
5'9".
small.
He's 5'9".
I'm gonna say 5'9".
That's a small
And
penis.
Kurt Russell's the same.
Hey,
5'9".
I'm 5'9". I'm 5'7". I
Well.
fucking lied.
It's usually pretty proportionate to height.
But your beard is 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like Fletch. You're 5'10", but with the beard, you're 6'3".
Yeah.
He's 5'10". Okay, so he's got a hog. That's fine.
Okay, how you neither
I
of
love
you
that beard, Tom. Your beard is always groomed perfectly. You look like a Greek senator.
I put in some like beard oil.
neither of you gave me shit on that small penis thing, so we'll go to another thing.
Okay.
With Jack Palance's evil lair, he's got 4. I think he has 16 TVs. It's 4 of 4.
Well, if you know anything about Jack Palance, is that he loves to play fantasy football, but with cops.
He's got the Red Zone network
does
of
have the Red
Tango and Cash arresting and busting guys. That's where I just go, this is where the movie, you know it's a vision.
Cash.
He's just a guy who's like, I want mirrors. I want multiple TVs. He sees everything.
Yeah.
This is what the producer does. And it's like, but why would there be a camera crew on every bust
I know.
that both guys do?
He's a voyeur.
But where does he get the footage? This is before CCTV.
He's obviously dialed in. He's got
He
the
is
cops.
tapped in.
He's tapped.
He's got that
He's like
one
Illuminati
cop-
level.
So-
His character is creepy. He's playing with rats. Like I feel
Yeah.
like he's the
No,
kind of
he-
guy
he
that wants
kills
to
it.
get stomped
That
by
henchman
girls.
spot though, that spot
It's
is the
sick
dopest
spot.
henchman style.
Sick spot.
Like it's so dope.
Bar,
Like, open
rats,
Yeah.
multiple NFL Sunday TVs.
A lot of staircases.
Yeah, honestly, the staircase that they throw urethra bomb down.
Yeah.
Literally looks like a 1990s Midwest basement staircase where I'm like, oh, they built that in one day for that final spot.
Can I rewind? What's
Yeah, urethra bomb?
Yeah, can you explain that more?
Okay, so throughout the movie, the henchman guy is not afraid of Ray or Cash. He just isn't. And then
The henchman with the ponytail.
Yeah, towards
You
the
fucking
end,
wanker.
they get him on the roof and they do the grenade where they literally are like, oh my god, he's got a grenade, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And he gives up the dude. He snitches.
Yeah.
He talks. He knows that Jerry's coming, right? So towards the end of the movie, Cash puts a real
one,
grenade
another dud,
in
okay.
his urethra.
Puts it. Wait, hold.
He takes open
Down
his
his pants.
Okay.
He
Down his
takes it
pants.
open and it lands right on the penis head and goes into the urethra as he falls down the stairs. And you see the bomb come out of the side of the staircase and not his junk.
Yeah.
So we know that his junk survived.
Great explosions. I wrote down.
What did you write down?
So one thing about this movie that I noticed really early in the first couple scenes, it is so pro-America.
In what way?
Like just the few things that they say, like he's like, "Welcome to America" to the Asian guy, and then like you have
when he's getting
the
beat
Russian
up.
guy in the
Yeah.
parking lot, he's like, "You took my car, I got it at
Oh,
Perestroika."
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Because
that-
Perestroika-
What was going on in 89? Like,
89 was the fall
Cold
of the
War?
No, it was the fall of the
Berlin Wall.
The Berlin Wall. So it was the fall of the Soviet Empire. Where were we going? Oh, okay.
just so you know, Scott's usually 70% right on stuff. So just remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So it was like the fall of the Berlin Wall, and Perestroika was a economic thing started by Mikhail Gorbachev, where it's kind of like
Tear down that wall.
Yeah, going back to basics and kind of like buying things. So it was kind of like a new communist Western way of thinking, I believe.
Wow.
But anyway, they were making a stupid statement. He has like a shirt on it, and then he's
And
like,
his
"I
car
got it
gets
at
totaled.
Perestroika."
How do I get my car back?
And apparently that's like a dig on Russia. It's like, oh, I got my, what the hell you got, the guy's yelling at him that you blew up my car that I got in Russia through this program. And he goes, well, welcome to America.
Yeah.
I was like,
also,
why?
Also, like is it
We
the
get it.
prison scene where Cash is more of our white nationalist?
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
is.
oh, I don't want any of you guys to kill me. I want to be killed by an American.
I want to be killed by a good old fashioned American.
Yeah, and
I'm Kurt Russell and I'm
even-
channeling John Wayne.
you want to get killed locally.
Yeah. I want
Open
farm to
sword
table
killing.
killings.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay in my book.
Yeah. Welcome to the black market. Today we have farm to table killings for $8 a dozen.
Yeah.
Trump's America.
Is that your plan?
Hey, we're gonna fry.
We're going to fry.
Where does this rank for you? Because I think you might be, correct me if I'm wrong, you might be one of the bigger Stallone fans that I know.
Uh-huh.
Where does this rank in your, because I love his
Oh,
performance
he
in
also
this.
says, sorry.
Yeah.
He also, Kurt Russell says that he makes a lot of immigrant statements. He's like, oh, some immigrant jerk off, like something like that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. No,
What
they
do they
don't.
make
They,
a
they don't
statement?
sugarcoat it at all. They
Jonathan
go for
Peters.
They didn't have to.
Yeah.
No.
And what sucks is because their original director was a Russian director. So
it. Yeah.
they took it on him.
He had him and Stallone in the beginning shared more of a vision for a darker. Here's what I'll say. I don't think this works as well going dark in that time. I just don't think it does because we were getting into the 90s.
Ending
it was over.
We were ending the 80s, and it needed to.
It had to be funny.
They had to make fun of themselves.
Yeah, and I think that
election year.
I'm telling you, everything about this movie, in my opinion, works all the way up until about 27 minutes left. I looked. The first hour and 10 of this works, and it's fun, and it's good. But as soon as they introduce the Diamond Club, they go to Tango's house where she's holed up, and she's giving him a back rub going, it's almost in. I'm giving you a back rub, but it's almost in.
That was super, That was super
and that's
weird.
when I go, you jump the shark when you put him in drag, you go to this house, the momentum's gone, and then we have dump trucks and monster trucks with explosives, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with a crazy set piece.
I still love this movie.
Me
it
too.
Is so
Me
great.
too. It could have been so better.
But I think anybody, and mention it in the comments if you disagree, but like, I think anybody rewatching this movie will agree with us. Like, wow, this was not well done, but still fucking rips.
But it's kind of like, let me.
By the way, electrocutions were huge in the 80s.
Yeah, that was a big
they
one.
loved it.
That's how they
You're gonna
killed Jaws 2.
Yeah, if you're gonna kill a villain in the 80s,
Electrocute.
Electrocute.
Remember
based on
Last
that, like,
Last Action
wattage?
Hero? That's
Last
90s.
Action Hero.
That's 90s, but electrocute.
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah,
Rambo.
No more spoilers. No more
I
spoilers.
know. Just
Based on
everybody
that,
gets-
like, that wattage from that when he pulled out the thing to electrocute them, done.
Yo, I was gonna say, how did they not die in the drop down electrocute
That's
where
torched.
they go Tango, Cash,
Yeah.
where they're
That was
like
like the
No, I
big
love when
amount
you
of
They were like
watch
gay.
them being lowered as they start shaking before they hit. They're like, oh god!
That to me is just awful directing.
Awful.
Like the director has to go, hey actors, you don't move until we electrocute. Like that's where it's just John Peters, let the people in charge.
They
be
fired
in charge.
everybody. Like
Yeah,
the
they
catering
fired-
guy. The catering guy was directing
Well,
that
and
scene.
it's leather boots, like rubber, so that wouldn't conduct electricity until you get down to the skin.
Yeah,
so that
they
would
needed to
actually
be in
stop.
it.
But
That's right.
That's just a bone to pick, you know.
Well, because
I never have them.
Well, you're a master electrician.
Yeah,
Tom.
so I do know about electricity.
How?
So, yeah.
Okay, in the finale,
Yes.
how did they know which one is him? They have like a little line after they both shoot on two.
That's the beauty of this film.
Give me mirrors.
It doesn't fucking
Give me the
matter.
mirrors. Give me mirrors.
they-
give me-
No.
They
They
say
said
it,
the
though.
ring.
Yeah, I know,
was on
but
the
what
wrong
was
hand.
the line? He goes,
ring.
"Oh, I said his
They
ring."
cleared. I feel like everything in this movie was very
Quick-
self-aware.
quick
They
throwaway.
knew. They knew. They're like, how'd you know? Oh, the ring was on the
throwaway.
wrong hand. Corrected it.
Or when they're in that giant outdoor construction, like the end of Taken. Like the ending of this movie is filmed in the same place the end of Taken.
Yeah.
When he's just driving around a construction site.
a quarry.
And there's a moment where Kurt Russell goes, "Man, this is a maze. No idea where to go." And they just drive in circles.
He's like, the car's on fire. He's like, we're cooking now.
Yeah, and that
The lines
that
in
took
this
off
movie were
that took off 3/4 of Stallone's hair.
Yeah.
And he was furious.
They had to
And
stop for 3 weeks. That's what ballooned the budget.
Explain
Yeah.
this.
So that
Yeah.
when their car catches on fire in that big
If you call
quarry
that thing a
scene,
car.
Oh, it actually burned his hair.
the truck
Yeah.
thing, the H2 Hummer before they were made.
the minivan that
where he was
yeah.
talking, but he doesn't know that they're not in the car. Like he's
the 88
on screen,
Toyota 4Runner that they just put a
He was
blower
on
on.
your left. He was driving.
The
like,
guy-
it's all our left.
The guy on the screen, they can see him and they can talk to him, but he can't tell that they're not there and they're no longer driving the car. Hey guys, are you still there? Come on, tell me what's going on.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
Yeah,
so you know the car,
the weapon guy.
the weapons guy that helps them with the car,
needs.
Oh, yeah,
who's
he's-
got like.
I hear explosions. What's going on with the car?
Now you know who I'm talking about,
He's
right?
he's got the thing. He's like, Cash.
One eye bigger.
You
yeah,
still
he's
there?
like, Cash, you still there? I can hear you guys. It sounds like explosions. They're like, yeah, we're dead out of here. Yeah, me too.
Okay, so now you know who I'm talking about? They bail on the vehicle to go into the compound.
Yeah.
And they saw him, and they talked to him, and they can see him, and
Yeah,
us
yeah.
as the audience, we can see him.
Yeah.
And he can't see them? He goes, guys, you still there? What's going on at the
know.
compound? Are you
know.
getting the drugs and the girl?
That's when Tom turned off the movie.
Yeah, he goes, I'm from Tahoe. This is so
I can deal with
unrealistic.
I can deal with everything else, but in
Well, it's 'cause
cars the cameras go both
They didn't
ways.
have video like surveillance at the time. They couldn't
Okay.
do live.
In
shit,
that car,
so.
they fucking did, Tom.
the
in that car,
minivan
they
that
fucking
they
did.
lifted. Yeah.
That tank car. So anyway, in that explosion where the car catches on fire,
Oh, yeah,
it
Stallone's
really
hair.
the back of the car did catch
Did
on fire.
catch
and
on
it
fire
burnt
for real.
Stallone's hair, stopped production for 3
3 weeks.
Jesus, it took them 3 3 weeks
He
to grow his
was
hair back.
fucking
Or
It was
Furious.
something. They had to figure something out. I'm sure he was a diva about it.
What is it? What is that? My hands on fire. Nothing is over. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Kurt Russell was like, "God damn, car's on fire again."
I like how the
Jack Burton.
This
All
is
right.
Kurt
what's on my
Russell is
screen
just
right now.
John Wayne.
This is
Yeah, that's
fucking
sexy,
ripped.
dude.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
What I love, all the one-liners, like when they're in jail and they're walking down with their stuff and they're throwing
Oh my God, that is
throwing
the
down
most
that, and like
ridiculous.
Kurt Russell says something, and then Stallone goes, "Yeah, I ate litter."
Yeah, like the
I
whole
hate
And they were like lighting that shit on fire as it
bro
was going down.
That
It was wild.
that prison scene. So I
gonna
thought
put-
it was so funny how it's raining
I'm gonna
fire.
put brown sugar in everybody's ass.
It's
from now on.
raining fire, right? It's at this maximum security
Yeah.
prison is raining fire and also garbage.
Yeah.
And none of the guards care. There's no one sweeping. There's no one going, "Hey, quit throwing garbage all over. Stop lighting this whole place on fire." They're just walking our
You think
boys.
there's janitors that work at the prisons to sweep up the burning
Just-
toilet paper?
If you're the director,
If it's a union jail.
Scott, if you're the director on this
Prison.
movie, just give one note to one of the guards to look up and go, "Knock it off." That's movie making.
Well,
Or just one guy like this. Just,
Yes.
Sean, if you've ever been to prison, then you would know that the guards they know that they can't stop this stuff.
You've seen one prison movie with Stallone, and it's every prison
I
movie.
had HBO for years.
Stallone
seen a
loves
lot.
prison more than Bridget Nielsen.
He does.
And now, was Bridget Nielsen the one that got together with Mark Gastineau from the New York Jets?
Why did you pick Mark Gastineau, not say Flavor Flav?
Well, I'm a sports guy.
Okay, nobody knows or cares who Mark Gastineau is.
Jeez, is what I'm telling you? We get 40 minutes in, and
Mark
you just jerk to me.
Mark Gastineau?
Gastineau from the Jets, the New York Sack Exchange from the 80s.
Is he friends with Beef Stroganoff?
He married Bridget Nielsen.
Everybody cares.
I might be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Well, then I'd be just like you, Pape.
I'll drink to that.
We're drinking a Tango and Cash. We are presented by Tango and Cash. Do you want to have your friend make a drink that you have no idea what's in it? Tango and Cash.
Made from the leftover burnt toilet paper in the jail scene, and the burning bits of Stallone's hair.
Hey, how come we don't ever get to see Kurt Russell's roommate or cellmate again after he tells him that you can't use the shitter and then he's like 1,000 pounds? Like, he never came back.
the big guy that.
Yeah, the big guy,
above,
Big
yeah.
Chocolate never came back.
Oh yeah,
He like sticks his foot out and is like, "Hey, you can't use that toilet."
he was a day player.
Yeah, he's a day. Yeah, no scale. They had to pay him scale.
They had to
Okay.
pay him scale.
We got to
got
do
tap
some.
Harleys.
We got to do some Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
and then we'll do a hot take. I think we're feeling sexy on it before we get out of here.
For the club, Teri Hatcher's club too is really good. Sorry, I just had
Yeah,
to
you're
say
good.
$5 cover.
No,
Fantastic.
is that seriously what it said?
$5 cover? Like $5.
Wow.
And Kurt Russell
don't have it.
Kurt Russell being the conservative he is, he's like, "God damn it, these immigrants are robbing me blind."
You're all right in my
Okay.
book.
The box office on this. So this movie was a $35 million budget that ballooned to 55 because of that final set piece.
Yes.
It was John Peters going,
Sniffing
"I need
Ajax.
monster trucks. I need rocket launchers. I need Jack Palance. I need new henchmen. I need Stallone to fight a guy. I need Kurt to fight a guy. We need to get it to an hour 40. Like, it's all this bullshit.
I know.
It's all, and this movie wasn't even ready for the theater when they sent it off. They called it wet paint. They said that it was still so raw that they're like, okay, and it was a hit. And imagine if this movie came out in July. If this was a summer blockbuster, this could have done 250. It did 120 million.
I know. Put Will Smith in it.
This is a bad movie that did 120 million, rated R,
120
1989.
million?
Yeah.
It did.
Worldwide gross, yeah, over the whole run. And then it was a video hit.
I gotta redo mine now. 120 million.
So, yeah, no, look
I
up
thought
the
it. I
inflation.
thought it barely made money.
Well, I mean, on a $55 million budget, 120 isn't ideal.
I thought it only did like a little bit over,
Domestic.
maybe like 65.
Yeah, that was domestic.
Domestic.
Yep, you got to remember Kurt and Sly, huge in China.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, so 120.
Nobody cares about
89,
international gross.
307.
300 now, that's
It's what
a hit.
they made in the
He
USA.
always challenges me on the box. You know what? Can we just call this challenge, this podcast?
Because I like
all you
to
do is challenge me.
I like to challenge you on shit that
we
I don't know.
used to be besties, and then you got into this studio and you got a chip on your shoulder.
You put on a nice looking
Yeah,
suit.
you put
look
on your
great,
401k,
look fantastic.
your
I put
Roth
on
annuity.
I put on a
Phenomenal,
tie, and
and
now we're frenemies.
I like it.
I like it.
Okay,
307
so
million, that's wild.
307 now, that's a hit. That's what it would do now with
Okay.
inflation.
With the ballooned budget.
Okay.
156.2%.
This is where it got incredible.
Ooh.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
We'll do Rotten Tomatoes, then we'll do hot takes, and we'll close it out. Make sure you email the show, thebuddycoppodcast@gmail.com. What did we want to do next week, by the way?
I think
Was it either Point Break or Aliens or something in the science fiction space? Total
I thought
Recall.
it was Point Break, but
should we
Aliens?
should we have them tell us in the comments what they want to see
Yeah,
next?
yeah, yeah. Well, we kind of need to decide by this one won't be out. This one won't be out by the time that we.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Tell us in the comments.
It's gonna be either Aliens, Point Break.
If someone
yeah.
says the frickin' Matrix one more time,
"Oh my god, I'm gonna kill somebody."
I'm gonna cut holes
it's
in
an
my pants.
action movie.
All right, Tommy. What
From
do
the
you think?
2000s.
What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes critic score was for Tango and Cash?
Based on my own ratings, I'm gonna say 25.
Okay, how about you,
Tommy Tits says 25.
Tommy 5.
I'm gonna say 40%.
All right, critics gave it 31%.
Ooh,
they did not
split
like
the
it at
diff.
all.
No.
They, all of those, you know, when you see a movie
F them.
and they do the trailer where it's like this summer, and then they go spectacular, Rolling Stone, unbelievable, Peter Travers.
A tour de force.
A tour de force, a performance.
Provocative.
This one was misguided, nonsensical,
Juvenile.
Yeah, like it got raked over
Yeah.
the coals by
Rancid.
Like, let's get back to this here. We're getting off the rails.
You look like you just got done selling pool
Stop
tables in
it.
Durgistan.
Stop it. You're looking at the scores. Tom always looks at the scores.
I'm not looking. I already
Okay.
have the scores. I have a fucking computer right here.
What's the audience score? Tom, what's the audience
Why?
score?
You don't have to cover your phone.
Because
I'm
he
not gonna
looks.
cheat.
I
Oh,
have it right
Tom
in front
looks.
of me.
Not the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but I will go look
All
at
right,
it.
what
This
is
is the
it?
first time that his
What's
screen
your
has been
guess
on.
for the audience?
62.
What's your guess for audience?
Audience score? Audience, because we're fucking idiots and we love these movies. Yeah, I would say in the 60s, 65.
All right, so it was 52. That was surprising. I thought it would be in the 60s because it's
Yeah.
still fun.
Because
And
back
it's
then, when
80s, yeah.
I watched it, I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
someone nowadays would be like 62, but back then in '89, someone would be like,
Yeah, it's
99%.
fun. Like this is a very fun movie.
Stallone,
It's
and you
stupid.
got Kurt Russell saying immigrant
Yeah.
stuff and pro-America.
Yeah.
Fuck Russia. All right.
All right.
99%.
Okay.
All right.
We're presented by Fuck Russia. Do you hate Russia? So do we. Welcome to America. It's 1989.
Yeah, what kind of car would that guy have brought over from Russia anyway?
No, that's
Russia
the
has
thing.
Cars?
No. Sputnik? Is that a car? Okay. Okay, hot
The
take.
new 5-speed
Wait.
Sputnik.
What would you give this movie? What would be your score? Because I think I know on this one.
Okay, before I say this, I want to say to everyone out there, I love this movie. It's
Me
so
too.
nostalgic,
I loved
and
it.
I love this.
I loved it.
Even though I just watched it, I'm like,
enjoyed it,
wow,
definitely.
terrible. I still love this movie.
I love it too.
But if I'm gonna score it, I gotta be honest. I would give it probably like a 50-something%. 50%.
And what is your big kind of like, if you're being dead serious with us as people who like movies, what's your big qualm with it?
My big qualm was the third act. The end part is
just a
just is
disaster.
garbage. Like going through
Yeah.
the huge construction site, fun.
But
I remember even when I was young, when I first watched this movie when I was like 11 or something like that, and I remember seeing that last part. It wasn't as interesting to me as the one-liners and everything when they were
Yeah.
in jail. The build-up of the characters and them going to jail was great, and then the third act, when they're going after the guy and they're in the huge quarry, it did seem very excessive. Now watching
was
it
a
again, I was
different
like,
movie.
stupid. I'm like, you know what? Swayze would have done better.
he just wanted that whole compound monster truck thing.
Right.
Instead of making that in a separate movie and just having this end like downtown LA on a rooftop would have been just so much better. We didn't need that souped up truck because they could have went and saw the queue. They could have went and saw that guy and got cool guns and like still had that great moment and then gone to get Jack Palance in just a regular ending. Like that whole ending made no sense.
I think you can see where the directors changed.
Yeah, it was
like,
insane. Like it went
good,
from
good,
it went from buddy cop movie to
shitty to-
Runaway Train 2.
I did like
dude.
the explosions though.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I
fun.
mean. If it was in a separate movie,
That last scene there in the quarry and the fights and everything, it was like literally the director at that point was like,
the craft services guy.
Fucking
I'm gonna go get a
blow it
burrito.
up.
Yeah.
You guys can
Just
fucking
blow
make your own
Action.
movie.
Oh, is that the word? You say action? All right, hit the slate. What
Yeah.
was
Sure.
your score? What would you give this?
I give it, so first time watching it, never heard of it. I would give it. I'd probably say like 50-ish.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna go 72 just because I.
And wait, hold on,
Yeah.
Tom, because this is your first time watching this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
And first impression, you would give it what?
50-ish.
See, told you. My score,
Yeah, good
50-ish.
call.
But
First
like,
time.
I did like, but I did, like,
give it to the
Hey,
girl.
watch it with
I'm
the
an
hand point.
independent
But
contractor.
I don't trust IMDb. Like, so I like there's movies I've loved that have been 10%.
Don't ever look at IMDb.
And so I know, but for me,
ratings.
I'm like, I think it was entertaining. I didn't want to stop
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
a
what
good,
I thought. I was like,
just
this
think
is a
it's-
blast. Like, it was great. I had it on during the day, and it never got, like, with Bloodsport, it got tedious with Bloodsport, whereas this one, I was like, I could go another like, when they clap at the end, and my God, Stallone, the bodies aren't even done frying, and Stallone hits a line, and it's so bad. And I go,
bad.
God, what was this movie? He says something like, hey, I don't know if they're going to pay overtime for this. And it's like, dude, you guys just landed. Like, you don't even know if the debris is going to clear you.
Looks like a tequila sunrise.
Yeah, it was something. It was so bad where I go, please give that line to Kurt.
I know.
Yeah.
Kurt would have been like, wow, looks like a big trouble in little
Wow.
Corey.
Immigrants. Glad they blew up. Okay. I give
Corey
this,
must have been made in Russia.
I give this a 72 because I'm obviously the most forgiving of us three. Like, I like bad. I like it when things are kind of bad. Like, the captains in this movie are so bad that their 80-yard audio enhances the picture for me. Where as soon as one of the captains comes in, his volume is either way higher or way lower than Tango or Cash. Wow. Hey, what you gonna do? Come on in. Oh, I'm the captain.
That's a deep take.
Yeah,
You were
this isn't
checking
even,
sound
this
levels?
isn't even my hot take. No,
He's in it now.
Sound
This guy's Jimmy
mixing-
Iovine over here.
Sound mix, good pull.
Nice.
Beats by Dre, co-founder.
Yep.
I find those little things, but I loved this movie in the sense of what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
I look at movies.
It was the ultimate buddy
I saw
cop
the vision.
film. It was
Yeah.
a great buddy cop
It
film.
was funny.
with two guys that
and
had great
funny,
chemistry.
dumb, but funny dumb.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
It didn't take itself too seriously until like one or two little scenes in the end.
And great premise. If you think about it,
Yeah.
I'm going to sum up the film right now. You
Yep.
have two amazing stars from the 80s, okay? Two guys, great chemistry. Two opposite cops, buddy cop. One guy's from the east side, one guy's upper class west side. They both get framed, go to jail by a
Jail.
drug
their way
lord,
out.
and have to fight their way out and clear their names. Great premise. It's good.
Absolutely.
Also, if you're a toupee maker, by the way, go through all the toupees. That's a note I had.
my God.
There's some fucking
So many
terrible
great-
toupees.
I didn't even
Like,
realize
what's his
that.
what's his
fucking,
name's
like, the mustache
the sound guy.
Tango's boss,
Sheriff.
captain?
The one that blows up in the garage.
What?
Remember
No.
when he goes to get the guy that set him up and he blows himself up in the garage?
I don't remember that part.
Oh yeah, because you don't watch the movie.
But he's the guy from Double Impact too.
Oh, I'm talking about the other
no.
captain that sets him up, not the one that he's
no,
close
Tango's
Oh, that gets
with.
blasted.
Yeah.
Sly's boss. who he's
No, I
friends
know. I'm thinking of the
with. Yeah, with
other
his like
guy.
fake toupee.
Yeah, it's so
That's the
good,
guy
though.
whose
Yeah.
audio was wrong the whole movie. It was too high the whole movie.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but you're he's got like that Chicago accent too.
Yeah. He's like
Your
Danish.
broker's on the line. You might want to pick up the phone, Tango.
Okay, well, let's do a hot take and
Yeah.
then we'll get out of here.
Hot take.
So make sure you email the show. What is it? The Buddy Cop Podcast at gmail.com. You can find us on all the socials. Just type in the Buddy Cop Podcast. TikTok is where we're hitting. The YouTube shorts, check those out. Please comment. It really helps us.
Yes, and everybody at home, please let us know what movie you want to
Yeah,
see next.
let us know what movie you want to
We'd
see
love to-
next.
yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Because if not,
for
we're gonna
sure.
have to do Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
You
because
don't
that's what
wanna do
everybody
that.
represents.
Straight
We're
action.
drinking a Tango Cash, so let's do a hot take. One thing that we would like to say to get out of here. I'll go first just to kind of set the tone. I said it earlier, but my hot take is if Schwarzenegger was in this movie, it would not have been as good. Kurt Russell and Stallone were absolutely perfect. If this movie would have been directed by a Rennie Harlan or somebody that actually could command the set, take them through the hour and 45-minute movie, coherent, normal third act, we would be talking about this alongside Lethal Weapon. I swear to God. The pieces, this is one of those pies that you go to your uncle and aunt's place in a weird part of town and you're like, this is fine, but it could be amazing. Like, they don't give you a fork. You kind of just eating it the way that you can, and it's still good, but you're like, God, this would be great if I had a napkin and a roof over my
This
head.
is a great strawberry pie if you just took the rhubarb out. Nobody eats rhubarb.
exactly. Or it's like, they used pie crust when I would have rather it been from scratch.
Yeah.
All right, you didn't quite resonate.
It's a
All
great
right,
muffin. Just don't put a niece
Tommy
in
boy,
it.
you got a hot take to close us out?
Well, you guys always talk about how the last ones with Cliffhanger and stuff, that Stallone's a good actor. And
He is.
I didn't think so until this movie. He had bad lines, but he did
He
it.
did them well.
Did it properly.
He's committed
Like, he's
to
not a bad,
the
like,
craft.
Arnold's a bad actor.
But if it's serious,
Yeah, but like Stallone.
But he does great in comedy.
Yeah,
Yes.
but Stallone was like, he just
Believable.
He's got that voice. It's hard, but I'm like
he's believable.
Not a bad. He's
no,
a good actor.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you got? Hot take.
Top 5 buddy cop films. Still,
I agree. I think if you're gonna go,
even if it's terrible, watching it
Like-
again, I'm like, oh my god.
this feels to me
Still top 5.
Like, I know Rush
Tango
Hour.
and Cash just
Rush
in there.
Hour is a better movie, but there's something I like more about Tango and Cash that feels more L.A.
Yeah.
Like, it really does feel L.A. of like
Yeah.
living here, East Side versus West Side. Whereas like Jackie Chan is from the Far East. They're taking on the triads. So
Freaking
it's like,
immigrant.
I would go.
Kurt Russell
Obviously,
wouldn't allow it.
Lethal Weapon is the quintessential buddy cop.
Yeah.
You might have to go Tango and Cash, baby.
And also, this movie was going to be called The Setup. And
Yeah.
they changed it to Tango and Cash.
So good.
So I don't care if you're out there and you think there's a better buddy cop film that belongs in the top 5. This movie's called Tango and Cash. By title alone, it's fucking classic.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Fuck
And they
yeah.
got
Fuck
penis
yeah, bro.
bombs,
Penis bomb.
Penis bombs.
the
Fucking-
Stingray cars.
And you got both of them taking a shower, showing their ass,
Yeah.
talking about their wieners.
Great asses, tiny dicks.
Yep.
Legacy film.
Yep. Nothing
Last
gets me
movie-
tingly like
The
these
last
guys.
Jacks
movie,
me up more than
Then-
a couple dudes naked in a shower.
Butts
with tiny
and
penises.
Little Wangs. It's the last movie ever released in the 80s. It's Tango and Cash. Thank you so much for checking us out. Make sure you email the show. It is the Buddy Cop Podcast at gmail.com. Find us on socials, the Buddy Cop Podcast.
See us in the comments. Talk about what movies
Yep,
that
what
you want to see
movies
next.
do you want to check
And if
out?
you disagree with our outfits or with our
Yeah.
takes,
I'm Cash, he's Tango, and
Yeah.
then this is...
we want to
Anxiety
hear you in the
of-
comments talk about how great Tom's beard is.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with something that you might decide.
Yes. And until then, roll credits.